go. Here we go. I need to erase this heliocentric theory from your brain. Look into the light. Look into it. You need it. You need it. Hates religion. Believes in space. Doesn't know the Vatican made up space. Doesn't realize that his modern day science is a religion. A wormhole has a lot of similar physics to a black hole, except it's a portal to another place in the galaxy. Just look at his face, says it all. If the marks on the moon are craters from meteors, and we always see the same side of the moon, did the meteors come from the Earth, or did we go to war against the moon and NASA didn't say anything? You tell me. When you tell them space is fake and the firmament is real. Hydrogen and helium gases rise. On Earth, vacuum of space, gases no barrier. Gases on Jupiter holds hydrogen and helium? Folks, I think we have a problem. Great Lakes system profile. As you can see, the water always conforms to its container because it has to be contained. And the top surface, no matter where the bottom surface is, the top's going to be flat. Where the hell is the curve? Although the GPS satellites are orbiting high and up above in space, their signals can still selectively avoid most of the ocean because there's no towers in the ocean. No satellites. Satellites are satelloons. They're hot air balloons. All satellites are hot air balloons. Go to satelloons, look it up on YouTube, go look it up and you'll see all the satellites have air balloons attached to them or they would not be able to float. You're not on a ball, so you don't have anything to orbit. All that shit's crazy. Like, when they're explaining gravity, man, oh my God, orbiting with gravity. I don't understand how a flat Earth works because inexplicable explosions that create balls from fucking gases, liquids, and solids inside vacuums and monkeys that turn into people makes perfect sense. Stupid flat earthers. No thanks, I saw a ball Earth on TV. I don't want a brain. The 9/11 subway memorial at Ground Zero is a flat Earth. In your face, suckers. Because they fucking love you. They can go on spacewalks in a cloth suit with no problems. You never hear about any problems with the vacuum, with operating in a vacuum, although they can't even practice in one because it's too dangerous. But a solid steel drum is crushed like a tin can under a vacuum. I can show you railroad cars that twist into an aluminum tin can in seconds, flat. Now you think these cloth suits out there can contain a pressure from a vacuum? It doesn't have, it's like when you have a submarine and you go underwater and you have to have fucking a steel barrier to prevent the water pressure from crushing you down. Man. Don't question me. I'm Bill Nye the Science Lie. But you're just a puppet actor. Does it look like a pear? How many fucking years of pictures does it look like a fucking pear, Neil? Neil the Ass Tyson? Me trying to figure out how to get millions of loving people together to change the world. Trying to figure it out. How do we do this shit? Hey man, Earth just looks flat. You're not high enough. It still looks flat, man. And again, dude, you don't get high on cannabis, you dumb fucks. They miscategorized it and tricked you. They miscategorized it with alcohol, coke, heroin, crack, meth, heroin, all this shit. They miscategorized it so you think you're getting high, but what's happening is it just makes you think. And if you're not used to thinking, you're so dumb that you think you're high. You don't get high, you stupid retards. It doesn't get you high. It doesn't work that way. You've been tricked. Do you know what globe lovers call a lack of buoyancy? Gravity. The Apollo 11 guidance computer had 64 kilobytes of memory and operated at 0.043 megahertz. In fact, it was less equipped than a modern toaster. What will you believe? And then they say they don't have this technology of a toaster back then? What will you believe? Okay, Polaris is the North Star. It's called the Pole Star because it never moves. All the other stars go around it. The Big Dipper right here, that's where you get this swastika. Now, just because the Nazis used it doesn't mean it's a negative symbol. You dumbed down fucking retards. Because it was a common symbol, as you can see. Of course, they inverted it. It was this way, or wait, that way. Wait, yeah, it was that way. Or the way. Anyway, they fucking inverted everything. So, Van Allen radiation belts. Inner Van Allen belt, outer Van Allen belt. Before, he's like, what the fuck are these? No problem. Now, Orion shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. Listen to me, water needs a container. It doesn't bend around giant balls. Water? Like out the toilet? If the Earth is flat, then how do you explain sunrise and sunset? Half of us are in daylight, whilst the others are in darkness. Surely if Earth was flat, we'd all be in light and dark at the same time. Yeah, light sources have their limitations. It doesn't light up the whole plane, you dumb down retards, okay? It's a local light source, and it's like this light. Here, it can only light so much. If you keep going away from this light source, it's going to get darker. That eye-opening moment when you realize just how easily outer space can be faked. Faked. Harnesses, because they love you. Religion survived mainly because they brainwashed the young. I remember my mom was trying to get me, and I couldn't even walk yet. My mom was trying to get me to be a Baptist Christian. Crazy shit. You are not here. This is a fucking cartoon. If you buy this, they laugh at you. What difference does it make? Even if it's true the Earth is flat, it's just causing division. Truth doesn't cause division. Lies do. Spinning 0 miles an hour at the North Pole. Equator spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. No fucking difference. You do realize a bunch of crazy satanic Freemasons convince the world Earth is a ball hurtling through space, don't you? Well, you see it? 9. It's behind the curvature. I can't see it. The water has curved, and the ship is behind the curve now. If the water was curved and the Earth was curved in the ball, periscopes would be useless. Lighthouses would be useless. Gyroscopes would be useless. All this shit would be useless. Radar would be useless. How is it possible to view the inner planets from the backside of the Earth at night? It's not, but we do see them because you're not on a fucking ball. Okay, here's the sun. It's cutting through the air, which is technically a fluid. As the sun, which is a boat showing the way through water, I know, but it's the sun cutting through air. Air is technically a fluid. As it does so, it creates your different spins. And as it goes around in a circle, if you're inside the loop, there's a certain direction, and if you're outside the loop, it's going to be a different direction. So again, you retards, there's an answer for all this shit, because it works perfectly. Your dumb ball doesn't work. So there are no flights in the southern hemisphere which fly over the South Pole because it's too cold. Yet we flew to the moon, which we didn't, but whatever. When people believe the shit you just make up, you can't make this shit up, dude. He is laughing his ass off at you, dumb pair of fuckers. You see a perfect circle, Earth, for umpteen decades, and now he's telling you it's a fucking pear. And you believe it. What you're seeing here is not a sunset because the sun never sets. If I were to follow the sun in a plane, it would never be dark for me. When you're a flat earther and mainstream pseudoscientists are telling the world that a meteor might hit the Earth, you're not worried about their fear porn. Earth is too big for us to see curvature until a ship disappears over what they say the curvature is. But it's not the curvature because you can zoom back in on it with a camera. And if it were around a curve, you would never be able to zoom back in on it. Just like you can zoom in on the sun. When the sun appears to set to you, you can zoom in on it even more and it comes back above the horizon, you dumb bastards. Stop fucking with me. You know the truth. You know it somewhere. It's somewhere inside you. You just have to recognize it. Okay, this is great. Sun, moon, earth. Awkward. Awkward. So here's a real example. There's a fake moon and then there's the earth. The light is hitting this side of it. Shadows are always bigger than the object. The shadow is bigger than this. Shadows are always bigger than the object that casts them. So when they tell you, and not to mention the rays go straight and parallel. The rays don't come down this way and they don't invert up this way. And then they don't damn sure go into a fucking cone or a penumbra. Only an umbra is possible. This is your umbra. This penumbra shit, they're just making that shit up. They're telling you it's this small. So, shadows are always larger than the objects they cast, and then they try to sell this to you. They sell you this shit. They make up a word, penumbra, and now you're going to sell it. You're going to fucking buy it. Earth, after color adjustment. Mars. Look up Devon Island. They think this rover is on Mars. It's on a fucking deserted island. Can't make this shit up. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Much love. I love you all.